my dollars make it hurt.
Ladies and gentlemen, oh yeah, I'm in the building. What's going on, everybody, tonight? What's going on? Let's go. Welcome once again to the one and the only. This is, ladies and gentlemen, the Big Time Show podcast that is being seen and heard live everywhere on Facebook, on the Big Time Show Facebook page, on the Big Time Show YouTube page. I am live right now on Twitter. At Big Time Lou. All you have to go to is Big Time Lou, at Big Time Lou, L-O-U, at Big Time Lou if you want to go there. I caution you though, because for some reason, which I'm really having a problem with my account that I stream all the channels on, I cannot get the comments from Twitter. So if you ever go there and watch me live there, you may be typing something, but I can't see it. So your best bet is probably just to go to Facebook or YouTube, or if you want to go to Twitch, I'm live there on Twitch. I can see your comments if you so choose to watch there. What's going on tonight? Oh, I'm sorry. And then, of course, I am live right now on the original home for the podcast, which, of course, is Podbean. I asked for those that are here, would you go ahead and share as what I am doing tonight. I'm sharing everywhere that I affiliated in so many groups. I'm sharing there now. Hey, what's going on? I'll speak to everybody in a moment. Listen, if you want to contribute to the podcast, I guess I need to just go and put it up. Hey, just look, because let me say this real quick. I got folks calling me because, my show is at its time. And then, of course, the replay is on. Look, let me tell y'all something. Come on now. Listen. If you are watching me and you don't see the live right there, if it say was live, that means I'm not live at the time. Therefore, please don't call me at 2 o'clock in the morning as if I'm really talking to you live. I'm not. If you're watching me right now and it's about 10, 11 o'clock, please don't call the hotline. Please don't. I'm asleep. Yeah, like if you watching me right now and it's 12 o'clock, wherever time you at, 12 o'clock, I am not live. I'm asleep. Stop scaring me. Don't call me like that. I think my family something going wrong or something. Don't call me late at night. Please don't. Don't call me late. Talking about the Cowboys should do this and the Cowboys. Man, look, Jerry Jones is asleep. Let me sleep. Please, sir. Please, man. Don't do that. So let me. Hey, I had to do this because you would be surprised at some of the stuff that I get. Listen, if you want to contribute to the podcast, you can do that. As you can see, the Cash App, $ Big Time Show. If you're on Facebook, you can do the stars. If you do the super chats that are available on YouTube. Once you do a any type of comment and you attach the super chat to it, it will show up in my chat, and I will stop what I'm doing to read your comment. Because if you had enough, you know, gumption or confidence in me to patronize that way, then the least I could do is stop and read it. So I appreciate all y'all. Hope that all you guys will share. Now I don't know how many I got in here because I'm really not looking, but for those that are in here, and I'm about to speak to those momentarily, listen, y'all already know what I need, right? I mean, this has become a part of the show. You know what to do. Like, I'm right there now. Go ahead and hit that like button. I see comments in there. I'm coming because I have those in a minute. Hit that like button. Hit that heart button if you're on Facebook. If you're on YouTube, hit that heart button for me. Just smash it like I'm doing like right now. Just do that. That don't cost you anything but a couple smashes of your finger. And I would appreciate that. All right. Now, let me speak to everybody. Let me see if I got some people on in this area. All right. Let's talk it out. My brother Dylan is in the house. What's up? Miss Ty is in the building. East Side is in the building. There it is. Hey everybody, what's going on? All right, I got some people in here that's looking at me, but you ain't speaking. But it's okay. I hello to you. All right, what's going on? Listen, as you know, Cowboys time. I am still ticked about Philly, but Philly's done and over with. I'm sorry I didn't get you. I looked at the tape. I just didn't make a show because it was just too late, and I had a lot of other things that were going on at the time. So it's so late by now. It's time to turn the page. So all I can say is to the Philly fans is, look, we'll see y'all in a couple weeks. That's the only thing I can say to y'all. So we'll pick this conversation back up with you guys in about 4 weeks, if I'm not mistaken. We'll see what's going on then. And so since I'm not talking about, hey, Miss Brandy, what's going on? All right. Oh man, I've never seen you before, Ernest. Ernest, whoever you are, Mr. Moore, I appreciate you. I appreciate you so much. So, if you are from Memphis, then here I am. What's going on? I appreciate you. Thanks for popping in on me. Okay. Uh, East Side is always you always want to, you know. That's what football teams do, sir. We got a game on Sunday. It's Thursday. We ain't got no business talking about Philly right now. We got a game on Sunday. And on that note, Philly slides out the door with the W that they beat us with. And now we slide in the New York Giants. They're the next game on the schedule. That is the next most important game. It is the only game we need to be worried about. There ain't time to be looking, elsewhere and all that. It's very early in the season. We got a little ways to go. It is a very, very, very important game. Obviously, because we these games are all trying to get you closer to the goal. I've always said that once you get to 10 wins or 11 wins, that's just about going to guarantee you a playoff spot. Well, since they added the extra game, I think 11 wins will guarantee you just about a playoff spot. So, the way I look at it is, we need to get quickly to 11 games. So, Chris, what's up? Ernest Moore We got a good running power running back, which we had got Derrick Henry. I'm gonna be honest with you, Ernest. Just to answer your question, I think we got it. We just don't use it enough. Rico runs the ball extremely hard and well. He just don't get the ball enough. Every time he touch it, it look like he getting at least 6, 7 yards. I'm serious. Just don't feature him. We dedicated to Tony Pollard and only Tony Pollard, and Rico would get maybe 3 carries a game. Same stuff that we used to say when Ezekiel Elliott was getting the ball and really wasn't going to win. Pollard would come in and seem like everything was going on. What's up, Daryl? I see you. I see you. Appreciate everybody popping in. Everybody share what's going on with that. So we are, and that's part of what I want to talk about, Ernest. Definitely. And then, by the way, y'all, by the way, we need to, just in case y'all are doing something, y'all in front of a TV, if you're a Cowboy fan, this is a good night to do a little scouting as well, because our next opponent after the Giants is playing tonight, and that is the Carolina Panthers. So Carolina's playing Chicago tonight. Just in case you going to have the TV on while you're watching, kind of look at, kind of glance while you listening to me, kind of glance every now and then at the TV. This will be a little scouting report while we kind of enjoy this little podcast together tonight, because the Carolina Panthers did beat the Houston Texans. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're the cupcake that beat y'all, Eastside. So you ain't talking about that. See what I'm saying? Eastside Harold be the main one yapping his mouth. And this is the team that beat Houston. That's their only win. Isn't that amazing? See what I'm saying? It's amazing. Exactly, Ernest. You see, I'm multitasking. I'm multitasking. It's amazing. Eastside running his mouth as usual. Ain't Eastside. They beat y'all, son. What are you talking about? Talking about, well, I don't care, it was by 1 point. They beat you. And as a team that you shouldn't have let beat you. So, matter of fact, I don't even know why I waste time. I'm not even listening to Eastside. Eastside, the only way I'm going to read your comment is unless it's about the only way, or a comment. I let the chat box argue with you. I don't know where I'm going to look at your comment unless it's a super chat. Since I said I stop what I'm doing, that's about it. But other than that, I ain't reading your comment. You don't talk exactly. So, the Giants. Let me say this about the Giants. It's number one. It's a serious ball game. It is. Because of the standings. Let me say that. If you really got aspirations of winning a division, hey, son, my son is on here. He got his mama's phone. Thank you. Yeah, thank you, son. That's my wife's YouTube, but my son obviously have grabbed it. And thank you, Trey. Trey is on here. Thank you, Trey. Let me say this before I really get started. Thank you. Happy Veterans Day to all of you fellow soldiers that will be celebrating on tomorrow. It's our day. I'm a U.S. Army veteran. I'm quite sure I got Air Force, Marines, and Navy in here. Happy Veterans Day. I'll say that to you guys. Thank you for your service. We deserve the day. Unfortunately for me, I have to go to work tomorrow, but I'm going to act like I'm off. Look, I've worked. People may be looking at me. I'm going to act like I'm off. If it's any day I deserve, it's tomorrow. I'm about you. Thank you for your service. Well, thank me. Let me off. Hey, Kid Cowboy Marines. Yes, sir. Happy Veterans Day to you. Any other service people in here? Let me go and announce y'all now. Let me do that now. Thank you, Trey. My son hit me out with that before I get started with the Cowboys. Happy Veterans Day to all of you. If I got any service people, happy Veterans Day. All right. We can't afford any more losses. Not right now. And I don't care nothing about Philadelphia's schedule. I don't care. It does not do any good. It does not do any good for Philly to possibly lose, and then we lose. So we can't afford any losses right now. A lot of people talking about already saying, well, Philly gonna lose these games, and when they come to Dallas, it'll probably everybody will be tied, and it'll really be for the division. I don't know that. Philadelphia 8-1. I don't know if they're gonna lose all these games or not. They may not lose another game. Who knows? I mean, I don't know that. Do I want them to lose? Yeah, but we got to handle our business. That's what I'm saying. We ain't got time to be worried about what Philly's doing. We ain't got time to be worried about San Francisco. We don't have time to be worried about Detroit. We don't have time to be worried about nobody else but one thing: the New York Football Giants that's coming to Dallas. Now, because of the standings, as I said, this is a big game for the Dallas Cowboys. It is. I don't care what the Giants' record is. I don't care who playing, and most of all, who not playing. That's not our business. That's not our fault. If they got injuries, everybody got injuries. It's not our fault that they're not there. I ain't got nothing to do with that. I don't care if they practice squad lines up out there. I don't care. Now y'all may, cause see, we already know what the narrative gonna be. Well, you should beat the Giants. They're not good. They're not this. They're not that. I don't care. One thing the Dallas Cowboy fans should know, and it may not happen this week. It may not, but then again, it very well, because I done seen it happen in Dallas, and I done seen it on the road. For some reason, when a team comes into Dallas, or we go play a team that like an Arizona Cardinals, a team that don't belong, Arizona hadn't done absolutely nothing since they beat us. They played their Super Bowl that night, and they have done absolutely nothing. What am I saying? A team, when they see the stars come in, and that gray helmet with that star on that helmet, everybody plays their best game. It never fails. It never fails. Now, am I anticipating the Giants to do that? Probably not. But I have seen it too many times. When everybody, just when you think the Cowboys supposed to rip up a team, then here we go with all of a sudden, this team plays their best game for the whole year. It's just like next week. I'm already going to tell you now. The Carolina Panthers next week, it will be their Super Bowl game next week in Carolina. I'm not skipping ahead. I'm just telling you. It's going to be these teams that you don't expect them to show up. All of a sudden, they play like world champions. This is what happens to Dallas Cowboy fans. I mean, got the Cowboy team. And so I'm not saying what are we supposed to tear a knothole in the Giants? Yes, we are. I'll say that now. Especially when you tell me that we have Danny DeVito as their starting quarterback. I don't know who he is. I don't know where he come from. I don't know what college he went to. I don't know nothing about it. But Danny DeVito, he's the backup to the backup. A third-string quarterback is coming to Dallas to play against his pass rush and an offensive line that is not good. The Cowboys should not. I'm just going to say the Cowboys should win. I will say this. It is a division game. Usually, most division games are battles. I understand that we beat them 40-0 in the first game of the year. I don't think we're going to score 40 this coming up week. I just don't think. You got to remember when we first played them, the defense scored a lot, had a lot of turnovers and all that kind of stuff. I don't know if that's going to happen or not. I think the Cowboys should win. I believe that. I believe that it shouldn't really be a competition, to be honest with you, because as long as they do not let Saquon Barkley go off, we should handle them the way we should. That's just the way I feel about it. But here's my thing, and this is where I can't stand it. And see that this game is really easy to look at. I ain't saying it's easy to get out there and play it. I'm just saying it's easy to look at. They don't have much. They don't. The Giants don't. They are worse now than where they were when we beat them the first game. I mean, they're way worse. They still have a few guys that demands attention. They have Thibodeau. Okay, he's a college star. Okay, I get you. I mean, I don't know him, so I mean, I ain't no sense in me lying about it. I take your word for a kid Cowboy. Kid Cowboy say that the quarterback they have is a college star. Okay, I would think that he'll get better since he, since he's getting another week of practice in, all that kind of stuff. I would expect so. But the Giants don't belong. I mean, I said that the first game of the year. It's even the same thing now. The Giants just really don't belong. They got Thibodeau and Dexter Williams in the middle. And based off of what we saw with Terrence Steele last week, I would suppose that he's going to see a lot of Thibodeau. And we all saw how Terrence Steele looked last week. So, and we know he's still struggling with his injury, all that kind of stuff. So I will say that we got to be careful. So it's still a division game. It's still the Giants and Cowboys. It's still a rivalry game, and strange things happen. And the truth, and one thing about the NFL this year, and I'm not trying to sell the game because the game is going to sell itself, but it's a division game. That's all I'm saying. And on any Sunday, as we should see by now, anybody can be beat. We just saw Josh Dobbs come in off a plane with Minnesota, don't even know the playbook, and he single-handedly beat up whoever that was that they played in Minnesota and won the game. And the guy don't even know the playbook. So it can happen, y'all. In other words, what I'm trying to tell you is the Dallas Cowboys have got to come in with pure intensity. And if they are better than they are, which I believe the Cowboys are better than the Giants, they need to put their foot on their throats immediately. Plain and simple. You can't give a team no hope. It's really a game about attitude, if you ask me. It's got to be about attitude. Like, okay, we're the bully, and we're just going to go ahead and bully you. That's the way I feel about it. But if they don't belong, you have to treat them like they don't belong. That's what we got to do, Sunday. The Giants do not belong, y'all. There's no analyst that is going to pick the Giants to beat the Cowboys this week. Nobody. Even the haters know. Even the haters know that nobody's going to pick the Giants to beat us. Nobody. And usually sometimes that brings a lack of intensity. Like you just showed up on the field and the other team was just going to lay down just because you showed up. If they come in there with that attitude, the game is going to be a struggle. And they shouldn't struggle. I need to know if they're angry. Hey, look, after losing to Philadelphia, they ought to be angry. That's what if I was playing, that's what I would do. That's what I would do. If I just got beat by Philadelphia the way we lost the game, I would be angry. I'd be just roaring to get back on the field, whoever it was. That's the way I think about it. Now, everybody ain't me, they might come in laying down, That's one thing I always say about the Cowboys is that I don't know what team is gonna show up. Okay. I just think they ought to rip these guys apart. And they ain't gotta be 40-0, but the game really shouldn't be, it should be a game where there shouldn't be a lot of tension. Put it that way. That's the way I'm feeling right now. It shouldn't be a lot of tension in the game. All right. Now, let's break it down real quick. And then I promise I'll let you guys go. Might take just a few calls tonight. See how y'all feel about it. I just hope that this is just not the trap game. It could be a trap game if you're not taking it seriously. I think the Cowboys know that they have to win. It's bigger than just the game. They got to keep pace. They can't afford to lose. That's just the way I see it. Here's the thing that we need to look at. Are we going to finally run the ball? I mean, consistently. I mean, that's what I'm saying. And I'm not saying that you need to force it down the throat. I listened to Mike McCarthy, man. And I knew he was lying in the first place. At the beginning of the offseason, I knew he was lying when he was saying we're going to be a running football team. I knew it was a lie in the first place because, number one, I remember Mike McCarthy when he was with Green Bay. And later on, he started running the ball kind of. But I remember the 4 wide receiver sets that he had when he won the championship with Aaron Rodgers. I remember all that. And he was in Green Bay, but he put the ball in the hands of Aaron Rodgers, and of course, it carried him to the Super Bowl. A Super Bowl win, I mean. I never believed it. Then when we signed Brandon Cooks, and we already had an all-pro receiver in CeeDee Lamb, and then supposedly we had a healthy Michael Gallup back, I said, that is the strength of the team as far as the offense goes. It wasn't the running backs. It wasn't, in my mind, I wasn't saying it was Dak Prescott. I said that the strength, the best group of the offense was the wide receivers. So if that is the strength, then you passing the ball. And sure enough, here we are. We passing the ball like we run and shoot offense. Sooner or later, that's going to have to switch because it's about to get cold. It's getting ready to get cold. And we all know when it get cold and you go play like in a couple of weeks, we're going to, for instance, we're going to Buffalo. Okay. Buffalo, New York, where snow starts in November. I'm just saying. It gets cold. You got to run the ball. And we ain't showed no type of, let's just say, consistency in running the football. We brag. Let me show you how bad it is. And maybe y'all ain't thought about it, but let me show you how bad it is. We are bragging right now about how well Dak Prescott is using his legs. And that is saying, you don't hear nothing about saying Tony Pollard is running the ball extremely well. You don't hear that. You ain't heard nothing about Rico Dowd. Rico is just running. You don't hear nothing. All we hearing about as far as running is Dak is really using his legs. I tell you, man, what an element to the offense that brings when Dak Prescott run the ball. Listen, if we just bragging on Dak Prescott, that's not good. That's not. And I'm not saying this would be a great week to find out if we got a running game because the Giants got some good players. The Giants got some good players on defense. And we ain't ran the ball well yet, to me. Down to the point where I can make Dak Prescott throw the ball between 25 and 29 times a game. That ain't been the case. Dak well over the stuff that I've been saying. I don't like Dak Prescott throwing this much. I don't. It's working right now, without a doubt, but I don't like it. I don't. Partly because, yes, I don't trust Dak Prescott like that. That's me. You may trust him. Right now, you're looking real good. If you're a Cowboy fan and say, see, I told you Dak can do it. You're looking great right now because Dak Prescott is playing great football. I got to give it to him. I just don't want him throwing the ball 39, 40 times a game. I just don't like it. I don't like it. I don't. It's working. CD is having a monster year. The emergence of David Ferguson Ferguson is looking good. Y'all look like geniuses. I'm not taking away from it. I just don't like it because I don't trust that. I like that yet. I'm sorry. I don't want him throwing it like that. No, he hasn't thrown a pick in a while or whatever. He's looking real good. Look like he's seeing the field a whole lot better. He's quicker in his decision making. I get all that. He's calling the right plays. He's putting them in. He's doing a great job. I ain't taking it from him. I just don't like that he's throwing it. Sooner or later, it's just like for those of you that are watching the game right now, Chicago and Carolina. This Chicago, Illinois. It's cold. Look, if y'all looking, everybody got a hoodie on. Everybody got hand warmers. So we're talking about the Midwest. We're going up to the north to play Buffalo, for instance. Well, we're going to play Carolina. Carolina ain't really cold yet. Buffalo may be a cold game. Might be some snow on the ground. It's time to run. And I'm not happy with our running game at all. And sooner or later, this thing got to turn around quickly. So that's the first thing. Here's the second thing. I'm sick of everybody talking about physical play. I'm sick of it because it's a lie. You can't be physical if you don't call the plays that bring out the physicalness. You can't do that. Every time we seem like we hike the ball, my offensive linemen are going backwards in pass protection. That is not how you impose your will on people. That's not showing physical play. That's not. It's not. It's not. That's not physical. It's finesse. You can't be. Y'all understand what I'm saying? If the defensive linemen are attacking my linemen, who's being more physical? So I'm tired of hearing we gotta be physical. We gotta be physical. This is coaching. Mike McCarthy is not calling the plays that impose physicalness. I want the lineman going forward, laying on people. I don't care if it's a 1-2 yard game. Just because you get 2 yards, that don't mean you're supposed to line up for the remaining 3 down plays of the drive in a shotgun. You got to get physical. I don't get it. Then most importantly, number 3, and I'm rushing y'all. This pride got to get out the way. And see, I don't. It's such thing called in-game adjustments. Huh? It's called in-game adjustment. If you've ever coached football and on whatever level, your job is to see if you calling plays. Your job is to see what the defense is doing, how they're attacking your offense. And whatever game plan you had, that game plan may not be working. So therefore, you have in-game adjustments. You want to go to the next step, you run a half, you go to the halftime, you go in your locker room, and they call it halftime adjustment. That's what you do. If it's not working, you scratch that, You make the adjustment. It may be another play that may work perfectly by the way the defense is playing. You make the adjustment. I'm saying that all to say this. Mike McCarthy did not make any in-game adjustments concerning Terrence Steele. The man gave him 4 sacks. The man gave him 9 pressures. Whoever they lined up on him, they literally wrecked the game. Case in point, the last drive, 2 sacks. Where did it come from? Terrence Steele. My question is, and it still is, why didn't Mike McCarthy make an in-game adjustment to get him some help? And what ticked me off this week, and y'all got to go back to it, I wish I would have had it here for you tonight. Mike McCarthy answered questions about exactly what I just said. Somebody was bold enough to ask him about it. Was there ever part of the game that you guys thought about giving Terrence Steele some help? This was Mike McCarthy's answer. And I'm sorry if y'all didn't hear, but I'm telling you, this is what he said. Mike McCarthy said this: well, if we would have gotten him some help on the right side, then that would have taken away a receiver from the route concept that we were running. And I'm like, so you worried about a receiver going out, but you letting your quarterback get killed because your right tackle can't block nobody, at least this game. And a lot of y'all want to kill Terrence Steele, and I'm being fair to Terrence Steele because I believe next year Terrence Steele will probably make a Pro Bowl next year. I keep trying to tell, I told y'all this the last time I was with you, I'll say it again. For some positions, coming off an ACL tear, sometimes it's going to take a little longer than a year. But the doctors will release you because your knee is stable and you got all your range of motion, you got all your strength back in your knee and your leg, your muscles around it, and you can actually play. But that don't mean that you're yourself. Y'all remember how bad Michael Gallup looked last year? That's because he was trying to play on a knee that wasn't quite ready. Guess what? Terrence Steele, I'll tell you, if you want to go basketball, anybody remember Klay Thompson from the Golden State Warriors when he came back? He wasn't the same Klay, and some would say he's still not. I'm gonna say he lost it. I believe Michael Gallup has lost it. I believe he has. I'm saying Terrence Steele he's just not Terrence Steele. And here's the part that I got with Mike McCarthy. Okay, you know he's not Terrence Steele. Why are you letting him go one-on-one against these great pass rushers? When it's obvious that the defensive coordinator said, okay, that's the weakness. We're going at Terrence Steele. And I don't know, you worried about losing a receiver. Which one would you rather have? Lose a receiver, or you gonna let these guys coming off that edge destroy and be a game wrecker and destroy your quarterback? I can't speak for, well, it's obvious I know what Mike McCarthy's doing because he's showing us. I know what I would do. I get Terrence Steele some help. And the reason why I'm bringing that up is because guess what? Thibodeau has 8.5 sacks this year. Thibodeau has 8.5 sacks. I guarantee you, Thibodeau is going to go where Terrence Steele is Sunday. And look like Terrence is having a problem with guys who have speed this year. Guess what? Thibodeau has speed. Thibodeau has power. I guarantee you, we don't even need to let him even just get into the game thinking he can wreck this game. I don't. But that's that pride. We got Terrence Steele. We're gonna go one-on-one. And the man gave up 4 sacks, about 8 or 9 pressures. I mean, can we get an in-game adjustment? because it needs to be some adjusted. Your dude is getting his brains kicked in. Do something. Give him some help. That's all I'm saying. So that's what I'm looking for Sunday when we go against the Giants. Like, okay, hey, and who knows? Maybe Terrence Steele may destroy Thibodeau. Who knows? May not hit Thibodeau's name the whole game. I'm not going to take that chance, though. I'm going to take that chance. I may give him one. As soon as Thibodeau get a real good pressure, an easy one, or he sacks that, that's it. Okay? We give some help. Give some help. Don't wait. Don't do nothing like we did last Sunday against Philly. They ain't do nothing. It don't make any sense to me. Maybe you wouldn't have had 4th down and 27 if you would have got him some help. Maybe you could have been at the 6-7 yard line trying to score a touchdown if you wanted. Come on now. It's not hard to figure out. It's called adjusting. Don't let your guy get killed. Okay? That's me. I mean, if you like your quarterback getting sacked 4 times and your right tackle allowing 9 to 8 to 10 pressures a game, that's not smart football. That's just not. And I guarantee you, as I said, Thibodeau will be out there. So we need to shut him down. Now, that's on offense. Saquon Barkley. All right. We all know who he is. We know what he's capable of. He's really the only weapon. I understand Danny DeVito. I'm just learning about him through Kid Cowboy. I haven't watched anything on Danny DeVito. And if I got to go to his college and look at him in college, then, I ain't about to do all that. I know he's athletic. I know he can run the ball a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But bottom line is he's a 3rd string quarterback, and he's a bag up to the bag up. That's all I need to know. He has no business beating this defense. None. That's just the truth. And I understand any given Sunday. I understand miracles can happen. We just don't need the miracle to happen to us Sunday. We got to shut down Saquon Barkley. That's what. Exactly, Chris. Exactly. We got to shut down Saquon Barkley. Can't let him breathe. We can't. This is a game where you just gonna have to let Danny DeVito beat you. So if you got to stack the box and make sure Saquon Barkley does not do anything, so be it. Tommy DeVito, whatever his name is, he just gonna have to beat me Sunday. That's really what you want. You want to get him in 3rd and long, which means you got to shut down Barkley. You got to go ahead and come on now. Come on now. We got to shut him down. We got to shut him down. It's just that simple. We got to shut Saquon down. Defensively, this should be a game, to be honest with you. This should be a game where the Cowboys should probably, pad their stats up a little bit and make them go higher in the defensive rankings. Huh? There are some games where you just supposed to do what you're supposed to do. Here's what the Cowboys are supposed to do. It's simple. They should beat the Giants' brains out. Plain and simple. Look, if we win 20-17, I'm upset. This should be a double-digit win. I don't care if it's 20-10. I don't care if it's 10-0. It should be a 2-score win. And if it's not that, I'm wondering what's going on. I'm sorry. And no disrespect to the Giants, but the Giants don't belong. They don't belong. Now I say the same thing about the Arizona Cardinals. You see what that got me? That stopped making me make predictions all year, and I haven't made it. I haven't made one more score adjustment since that game. Y'all know that. I'm not doing it now. I just know football, and I know the Giants don't belong. I take the win, whatever the is, but some games you're supposed to destroy people. This is one of them. And if it don't happen, like I said, if it's not at least a 2-score game, whether that's 9 points, whether that's 9 points and above, I got a problem with it. 9 points and above. If it's not that, I have a problem with it. Because I'm going to be looking and say, okay, why didn't y'all rip these guys apart, man? I'm serious. I got to have it. Now, defensively, it's not about how they do it. I need to see something this week from Evans. I need to see Evans play this week. Seriously, because if we wasted a roster spot by getting Rashad Evans, what are we doing? I need to see him this week. I need to see him play. It's about time for him to start getting involved in the game now, unless he just can't play. I know he's been getting in, but I need to see a lot more. I need Evans to really be in there this week. We gonna need him. Hey, Salt Life. Yeah, but I don't think LV is I had said when he got his neck hurt, Salt Life. I said I don't think he's gonna play again this year. Now I may be wrong, and I don't know the medical report and all that. It's just that, I had said the neck and the back is nothing to play with, and since he's had neck injuries since his college days, soon he ain't doing it but like chipping away at a tree, and I just feel like that he's at the point now where, and then of course he's playing the wrong position with as far as a neck injury goes. He's really in the wrong position to be. I mean, his neck is just, he's had all type of surgeries. I'm really fearing for his career, to be honest with you. I am. And I just don't think he's going to play the rest of the year, so that's why they stacking up. I just need to see Rashad Evans because we're going to need him. Team's going to run the ball. It's about to really go down. We got to go to work. All right. What am I thinking now? Jalen Hyatt, fair speedy guy. That's going to keep Bland and Gilmore together. Those guys are professional enough that they're going to be ready to play. I'm quite sure Dan or Quinn will have these guys ready to go. I think they're going to handle them. I just don't see no way that the Giants can beat us. But as I said before, games like this, these lesser teams, they all play their best game against the Cowboys. Everybody play their Super Bowl game against the Cowboys. It never fails. We got to take all hope away. All right. Now, last thing I'm gonna talk about, then I'll let it go. A lot of y'all, because I was in a lot of chats, and I'm quite sure you was in a lot of chats as well. A lot of y'all are making a lot of noise about Martavis Bryant being signed this week to the practice squad. Very tall receiver, very fast guy. but he ain't played since 2018. He's there. Um, a lot of y'all want him to play this Sunday, like he's supposed to be the number 2 back, and I'm saying, like, come on, y'all, stop it. He has to learn some stuff. He might be able to get in a couple plays or so like that, and maybe I wouldn't be surprised if he's not even suiting this week. I believe he might be ready to go by Thanksgiving, maybe. I think that might happen, but I don't think that he's gonna be ready to play. We don't know what he got in the tank left. He's 31 years old. We don't know what he has. We don't know. So everybody thinking you getting the Pittsburgh Steeler, Martavis Bryant, and who knows? You very well may be. But I wouldn't bet on it. I mean, I don't know. I will say this, man. I will say this about him. Well, about the signing in general, and we are football now. But what does this really say about the mindset of the Cowboys? See, the Cowboys are starting to irritate me because you wouldn't make that move unless something wasn't right. So, hey, y'all hit that like button for me. Everybody hit that like button. If you're on YouTube, hit that heart button for me. Do like I'm doing right there. Just tap it. Hit that like button for me, everybody, if you can. What's up, Key? I see you. Going on, appreciate you popping in on me. Y'all hit that like button for me. That don't cost you anything. If you ain't doing the super chat, if you're not doing the stars, then cool. You still can hit that like button. Hit that like button for you, boy. I appreciate you. Thank you. Greg said they brought him in for the 50-50 balls. So really what you're saying, Greg, is you brought him in for the red zone. Okay. You think so? Big say this was a move to get fans to shut up, if you ask me. Everybody kind of, I like the way Salt answered that question. I think it's for a different reason. Everybody y'all tell me why. Let's do this. There ain't no right or wrong answer. But in your view, why do you think we signed Martavis Bryant? Let's do this. I'm interested to see because I see some of y'all been with me for a while, so I know I can almost guess what some of y'all gonna say. But for those who haven't been with me consistently, or this is your first time hanging with me, y'all put down. Hey, Doc, I see you over there. Doc on Podbean. Why do you think we just signed Martavis Bryant? What's y'all reasoning, or what are y'all thinking? I started off. I think that the Cowboys, in their own way, are giving up on. I ain't saying giving up, but I think they see that there's a problem, and I think that's Michael Gallup. I don't think Michael Gallup will ever be whatever he was before. Sometimes you have a knee injury and you just don't make it back. You don't make it back to your phone. It's almost kind of like, in a sense, kind of like Ezekiel Elliott. A couple years ago, he got hit on that knee, and he ain't been right since. And he played another year on it. He still got 700 yards, whatever it was. Had 12 touchdowns. A lot of that came from, inside the 5-yard line. He's good with that. But I'm saying, as far as that speed that he had, the injuries mounted up. I think that when it comes to Michael Gallup, I really do believe that Michael Gallup, I think that his knee, that's about the best you're going to get from him now. He really has no separation. Every catch is a fight. He used to jump out this world, but he really, in fairness to him, he really has not had opportunity to showcase how well he can jump still. I think that and the sad part is they paid them all that money. I think it was 60 million or whatever it was. I think that's the issue, but I believe they're looking for more explosive, or it could be this, ladies and gentlemen. It could be that the Brandon Cooks trade, even though they trying to keep it and saying, yeah, but the Brandon Cooks trade may not be all of what they thought it was going to be. Because there's some of y'all think he ought to be the number 2 receiver already. And I'm laughing like, dude, come on now. In order for him to be the number 2 receiver, I mean, there's a lot of plays he done had to learn rather quickly. And I don't think that he's nowhere near that. He at this point, since this is his first practice, I think was today, that he may have a couple plays, just a couple, just for him to know what he got to do. But, he ain't nowhere near ready to get in. If he gets in and Dak had to call an audible, does he know all the hand signals? Does he know, what he should do? Does he know to do on a hot read? He got a lot to learn. You just can't go in and just start playing. Now, if you just tell him to go, hey, just run a go route, he probably can do that. If you tell him to run a slant, I'm quite sure he can do that, but he's not ready to play. So I don't think it'll be this week. It'll probably be he might be ready to go Carolina game maybe, and he'll definitely be ready to go Thanksgiving game. So that's just my view. But I think that is somewhere between Gallup and Cooks. Something just ain't 1,000% right. And let's throw this in. Since I just said that and you signed another receiver, then what is this really saying about Jalen Tolbert? Because, you see, this is all we heard. This is all what we heard at the offseason, that Jalen Tolbert is really taking that step. Jalen Tolbert is ready to go. Jalen Tolbert, him and Dak worked all offseason. Jalen Tolbert, he's really under the leadership and tutelage of Brandon Cooks. He's really progressed. He's really ready to go. And yet you bring in another wide receiver. And I'm like, when is Jalen Tolbert going to advance to at least being the 3rd receiver? Is he ready? Because see, if he's that guy, maybe you move Michael Gallup to the number 4 receiver. Jalen takes over the number 3 receiver. My question is, if everybody knows Jalen Tolbert has made that jump, and common sense tell you that Michael Gallup is going downward instead of trending upward, then why hasn't Jalen Tolbert taken over the number 3? See, I'm starting to wonder all this stuff. I'm really starting to wonder because I hear a lot of talking, but I'm seeing a lot of sitting on the bench. Jalen Tolbert getting more special team plays than he do on the offensive side of the ball. But everybody keeps saying Jalen Tolbert is this, Jalen Tolbert is that. He really is progressing. He's really making that leap. I can't tell. I mean, I understand how we are. We're loyal to contracts. If you're getting paid a lot, forget if the guy's good behind you. We paying you all this money, you got to play. And in that case, I get it because that's Michael Gallup getting paid a lot of money, and you just got to get your money's worth, I guess. But I don't get it. And I know somebody said, well, he is playing. He scored a touchdown last week. That ain't really saying nothing. He just finally getting there. You just getting rid of him. That's Greg. Is he going to get on the field? Greg said, I'm expecting Jalen Tolbert to have a breakout game against the Giants. Is he going to get on the field? I mean, because I haven't seen. I'm not saying he's not capable. I'm just saying I'm starting to wonder, like, and somebody, well, the Cowboys are always in the player acquisition business 24/7, and you You bring in a Martavis Bryant, it don't hurt you. Of course it don't hurt you because you really didn't sign him to nothing. You ain't losing nothing. And this could be a hit or miss. Well, but you already got a hit in Jalen Tolbert from what y'all keep telling us. When you gonna put him on the field? Because see, if you ain't putting Tolbert on the field, why am I gonna get excited about a Martavis Bryant being signed? Because you barely can't put Tolbert on the field. They are dedicated to saying our 3 top receivers are CeeDee Lamb, Brandon Cooks, and Michael Gallup. Those are the 3. So why am I getting and Tolbert can't get on the field hardly? Why am I excited about Martavis Bryant when I can't even get Tolbert on the field? I'm not excited about that. I mean, y'all can be, but I'm not. Some folks that like Martavis Bryant to come in and best automatically be the number 2 receiver or number 3 receiver. And I'm saying like, oh, that ain't gonna happen, y'all. That ain't how football work. Not on this level. No. I'm having a problem with that. So that's gonna be interesting once they finally deem that Bryant is ready. Once he's ready, then we gonna see. And I don't think that's gonna happen for about another 2 to 3 games. I agree with you, Salt Life. It's really got to do with Cooper. They want to do it their way, but I Brandon Cooks can't get the ball enough. Brandon Cooks can't get the ball enough, and we getting excited about Martavis Bryant, and Brandon Cooks is starting, and he can't get the ball. Why in the world y'all hype over Martavis Bryant? James, I said the same thing. I think it's more Gallup, but I'm still saying the same thing. What are we getting so excited for when Tolbert, who everybody keeps saying is just, whoa, what a jump. He's made that second year jump. Oh my God. What a great player he's been. And he's really been earning his keep in practice. He's really been, okay, he's doing it in practice, but can he get on the field? Can you line him up on the field? Can you line him up on the field, please? So, I mean, he looks productive to me. Jalen Tolbert does. He looked good against Philly. I'm trying to figure out why he can't get on the field more. That's just me. All right. Lastly, Michael Parsons. Michael Parsons. I'm sorry. Let me go to Podbean. I'm sorry. Michael Parsons, man. He's still Michael, and his talent level is so great that his talent level is just so great that he's gonna always, be that guy. One of those guys. Michael Parsons has not made the jump yet, in my view, to being the guy. And I ain't talking about it. He's the guy on our team. He is. He's the guy. But I'm talking about the guy in the league. And it ain't got nothing to do with his, it has a little something to do with his talking, but not a lot. It's just that Michael Parsons' track record in the league says this, that he always gets off to hot starts. And then right about the middle, we'll be asking, like, how many sacks has Michael Parsons had in the last 3 games? That's kind of where this is when it started happening. Now I understand he got a sack and a half, I believe, against Philly. That's good. I think he got about 6 or 7 for the year. I mean, he's an all pro. I'm not doubting what he is. He's an all pro now. Ain't no question about that. He gonna be a Pro Bowler, All Pro, all that stuff. But I'm talking about making. I'm talking about making the next jump to get into that level where you say, okay, he's like Myles Garrett, or he's like T.J. Watt, or he's even like Max Crosby with the Raiders. Those type guys who are always going to be up there. That he's starting to slowly fade off. And in order for us to win, he needs to be the defensive player of the year type dude. And we ain't saying it because everybody done figured out, run at him. Don't get in third and long, because if you get in third and long, he's just going to shoot the A gap. He's going to get in the middle. He's going to go ahead and he can get you in that. But wear him down, wear him out, you won't even hear his name. You don't hear him in really the run game, And in order for us to be that team, he's got to be that guy. And maybe that has something to do with how Dan Quinn lines them up and all that kind of stuff. And all that comes into play as well. But in order for us to win, he's going to have to be that guy. I was ticked off. I don't even want to say this, but I saw it. Y'all might remember this. In the Philly game, I think that was Jalen Tolbert, if I'm not mistaken. No, it was Swift. Swift got a ball and ended up going to the sideline. And if y'all remember, some of y'all gonna remember what I'm talking about. He tackled him and kind of held him up and then helped him up. Y'all remember that? And I'm saying, like, dog. And I understand the new players, but dog, this Philadelphia Eagles, we ain't helping up no Eagles, man, because he done got hit on the side. What are you doing? They ain't finna help us up. Why are you helping them up? And it was right there and there I said, you know what? The worst thing that happened to Michael Parsons this year don't have absolutely nothing to do with him on the field. He is a dominant football player. Michael Parsons you can't take away that. He's just like Mitchell said, he got 7.5 sacks. That's right up there at the top of the league, close to it. Listen, he is a dominant football player. But the worst thing that can happen to a dominant football player is the little moments that take away your edge. The podcast, the same thing that I'm doing right now. Michael Parsons, the podcast and him being a nice guy and complimenting everybody and shaking hands and swapping jerseys and want autographs, that's taking away some of the edge from him. It has. It has. It has. He's not. He's just too nice now. Myles Garrett ain't nice. T.J. Watt is crazy, just like his brother was. Von Miller is still crazy. They ain't shaking no hands. I need Michael to flip. I need more edge with the great talent that he has. That's what makes you. I ain't never seen the great defensive players be so nice. I'm sorry. Maybe I'm too old. I don't know. I just ain't never seen it. I mean, there's a whole list of names I could just start thinking about, and niceness is the last thing you're going to think about. I don't need no nice guy. Well, Saul, I see your comment, Saul. I'm sorry. Talk about D-Law. Well, D-Law is still, when you rate him out, D-Law is still one of the better defensive ends in the game. He's very important. Stops the run still. His sack game went down a long time ago, 4 or 5 years ago. Huh? His sack game, D-Law's sack game went down, but he's still solid. He still gets pressures. He still forces the quarterback to throw the ball quick. He's still pretty good. Matter of fact, D-Law may make a Pro Bowl this year. He's been playing that well. It's just the numbers just not gonna show, but he's still that dude. He really is. He's just not gonna get you 10 sacks anymore. That's the only problem. Now, Mike, on the other hand, the dog got to come out. The dog got to come out, and it's time now. That's what I'm saying. This is the time when the big players, if you are one of those big players, this is the time where you got to be the man. This is the time. So our big stars, let me go ahead and call the names out. Where now it's time to go to another level if they got it in them. Michael Parsons has got to be the man. I'm going to put pressure on. I'm going to put pressure on Donovan Wilson. His name has not been called this year, not to me, and we paid him, and I think he earned his contract. Donovan Wilson has been too quiet. Let me look again. I need Damone Clark to step up a little bit. Huh? Okay. That's my defenders. I fully believe that Gallimore is going to make up some plays as we get down to the nitty gritty. Bland is still going to be Bland. I just think that's who you block, Demetrius. Who you block? Somebody block my. Me just let them talk. I don't mind them staying in. See, okay. Now let Eastside stay there. He just. No, let him go. See, y'all gotta learn to start ignoring folks. You always got Cowboy trolls. So, and Kid is a Cowboy fan. Whether y'all know it or not, Kid Cowboy is a Cowboy fan. He just don't like Dak Prescott at all. But he is a Cowboy fan. He's been in my show for a minute now. So y'all just now, East Side is just East Side. All right. I need the dogs to come out, but once you really look at, I'm trying to find who the dogs are. You see what I'm saying? I don't know. I don't think we got a lot of them. I really don't. Bland is a dog. Gilmore is a dog, but his skill set done kind of dropped off just an inch or so. And so what he used to do, he can't do. He can't keep up with fast receivers no more. That's why he got to play off. He got to play more of a zone type thing. And he can get you that way, but he's just not the Gilmore from 4 or 5 years ago. Donovan Wilson is a dog. I need him to hit folks. I need the intimidation back. Huh? All right. That's real all. I can't get a dog to Mozzie Smith. Hankins is a dog. He's just not considered a great defensive tackle though. But he is a dog though. See, you see what I'm saying? He's a dog. He just don't have the skill set that can be a dominant dog. See what I'm saying? But he's a dog. OC has stepped up. OC is turned into my nice new dog. These are the guys that got to show up offensively. They say Tyron Smith, I'm sorry. They say he don't need to practice because, he was incredible Sunday against Philly. Now I've talked about him like he can't stay healthy and he can't. But if that's how he gonna play and that's the only way we can preserve him, we just gotta take that chance. Because the way he played Sunday, was incredible, and he's a dog. Tyler Smith should be now Pro Bowl. It shouldn't be no question. But I said that Tyler Smith should be in consideration for all pro honors this year from the guard position. He's a dog. Be honest, nah. Zach's still a dog. Zach Martin's still a dog. Terrence Steele, I can holler at me next year. He'll be ready to go next year, but right now, no. That's really it. CD is a dog. CD Lamb is a dog. But his whole success is tied to one Dak Prescott, who I say is not a dog. Too nice. He has doggish moments. I give him that. We've seen it for the last 3 weeks. He has doggish moments. I give Dak that, but he ain't a dog. He's too nice. He still want to be NFL Man of the Year. He ain't no dog. I'm talking about dogs. That Dak ain't no dog. He's a good player. He has doggish moments, but he's too nice. Pollard, if we ever get a running game going, I think that we'll be all right. Pollard is too finesse to be a dog. I'm just saying. Let's call it like it is. Tony needs a banger. Like Rico. Get the ball to Rico a little bit. Rico have a little dog in him. We just don't know how much because he don't get the ball enough. See what I'm saying? So we really don't have, it's really going to be a team effort for dogness on offense. Tyron Smith. Yeah. Run behind them. And Mike, since I just said that, ladies and gentlemen, can I say this real quick? I promise. I'm going to open up the lines after this. Matter of fact, I'm going to open up the line. Mike McCarthy, can we please stop lining up in the shotgun and running Tony Pollard up the middle every time? Is there any other running plays Lord have mercy. Who do you think Tony Pollard is? Earl Campbell or somebody? Mike Allstott, that he just you think he's Zeke Elliott? You give him his Zeke Elliott plays. Run it up the middle. 1 or 2 yards. When are you going to open up? You got to have more than one running play. That's all Tony Pollard run. I'm trying to figure out when. Coach Marr. I ain't got long. Oh, have mercy. Coach Marr was up. Hold on, Coach. I can't hear you. Okay, what's up, Coach? What's up? Hold on. Okay. Oh, okay, there it is.
Call from Coach Marr. To accept, press 1.
Coach Marr.
Joe.
Yes, sir. I can hear you.
Hey, man.
Go ahead.
Well, you got a lot of stuff to unpack there, man. I know you got a lot of stuff to unpack, but the running game, yeah, if Tony Pollard can get over 24 carries in 2 games, we may see him do well, but he only got 12 in the last 2 games. And so, but I think, again, like I said, I think the bigger problem with time possession, was even the flow just didn't work out for him. I see McCarthy started in the second half when he got a 15-yard run and a 5-yard run. And I want people to understand those 15-yard runs, that 5-yard run, even that run that came back that Rico had was over the guy that we trying to talk so crazy about, Terrence Steele. His run blocking was impeccable. So, like I said, I was talking to somebody, man, and I went back and I thought about something. I said, man, if we worried about the protection so much, and we were, and I hear people talk about why we getting this receiver, man. When Brandon Cook's gonna get in the flow, and we need to get them started. And if I was asked that question and I was Mike McCarthy, I would say, man, we threw for 374 yards. We threw almost 400 yards. We moved the ball up and down the field, and we're questioning about we need to get the ball to somebody. October, man, should we be so excited about October, man? October caught one catch for a first down, one long catch that set up a touchdown, and then he caught a touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
3 receptions is great for a third wide receiver. That 3 receptions in that nature is basically what you're gonna get across the NFL with a third wide receiver. If he catch some crucial first downs, it may catch a touchdown, but if you got a number 1 and number 2, he's not going to get as many, and our number 2 really is Jake Ferguson. Mm-hmm. So I don't see
kind of since you said that it was the same way last year with Schultz was there. Schultz was really the number 2 receiver behind CD Lamb.
I mean, number 3 receivers in this league get 4 to 5 targets a game if they have true number 1s and number 2s on that team. They don't get 10, 11 targets or lead the game with 9 catches for 102 yards. If that's the case, they would probably be number 2 receivers. But they may not have these monster games. I don't understand. We the only team to talk so much about third wide receiver when we have a quarterback that puts up 374 yards. Mm-hmm. But I will say this, and there's 2 points I want to make, Big Show, and you brought up the Michael Parsons thing. I stood on that table long from the beginning of this season when everybody talking about Michael Parsons as a defensive end. And I stood on that table saying, and I got people saying, man, but that's what he does well. You know, he's a pass rusher. That's what he does well. And I always said when Michael Parsons came in this league, he was a generational player because he was a linebacker with rush capability.
Yep.
But what we have turned him into is a defensive end with linebacker capability.
Mm-hmm.
Which that causes him to be in rotation, and now he's on the sideline. And then when you run at him, he sets the edge. If he sets the edge, you ain't got to worry about him making the tackle because his job is to set the edge and let somebody else make the tackle. Mm-hmm. And then if you run away from him, he's just falling into play, and he's out of the play.
Yeah.
I've said this before, and I've said it 1,000 times. When you have a generational player like Michael Parsons, you want him to expect every last play the offense runs. And in the middle of the field, whatever play you run, you have to think about Michael Parsons can affect it. Yep. I said generational. What generational means to me? Is he going to be a better pass rusher than T.J. Watt? He might be just as good, but T.J. Watt going to put up 20 sacks, almost 20 sacks every year. Mm-hmm. Is he going to be a better pass rusher than Myles Garrett? Myles Garrett's going to put up about 20 sacks every year. Mm-hmm. But I said Michael Parsons could be a guy that can have 135 tackles, 15 sacks, and 2 interceptions. And know something, Big Show? I've said it to y'all before. That has never been done in a season by an NFL player.
Mm-hmm.
But he has that capability because if you look at the 7.5 sacks he has this year, 4.5 of them came, I think 4 of them came for him rushing from the middle of the linebacker position.
Right up the A gap.
So he makes everybody find him.
Mm-hmm.
How many tackles for loss in the run game could he have if he was in the middle of the field and someone was setting the edge for him to make the tackle, not him setting the edge for somebody else to make the tackle?
Mm-hmm.
So, again, we get so wrapped up into this thing about, he was rough, man. That's the thing that turns games around. What turns games around when you have a guy that can affect every
Game.
play that a team needs.
Exactly.
And he's not Myles Garrett. He's not T.J. Watt.
No.
The reason why Michael Parsons is better than them is because he can play middle linebacker with his speed, and he has already done that. He just has to hone that in, and now this guy could be generational. He can go on defensive end on true pass downs, and you can say, okay, I know he's going to be a pass. He's going to affect it. I know he's coming from the middle. Offensive linemen are feared if you put him in the middle of the field and you don't know if he's going to drop in pass coverage. I think we missed in the game when he was got the guard, the tight end in the flat. And if the ball was on time, he had a chance to pick the ball off. But the ball, but this is the type of guy that you got, but you're pigeonholing him to one spot because you want to make everybody excited because you're going to say pass rush and he can get 20 sacks in a game. He can get 20 sacks in a year and he stay a defensive end and we'll say, oh man, that's great. But he rushed the pass about 400 times in that year and he only got 20 sacks. Mm-hmm. He's averaging about 3 to 4 tackles a game. I would want this guy to average 10 tackles a game and maybe 2 sacks because I know he's going to get them from winning. But he would affect the running game, he would affect the passing game, and he would be a force that you would have to reckon with all over the field. But we put him on one side to try to make everybody feel good because we got a major pass rusher. Yeah. We have pass rushers enough to do a job with Michael Parsons in the middle of the field with get them one-on-one because you have to account for him anytime he comes close to that line of scrimmage.
True.
So, but I will say this. We're talking about, our Cowboy Nation wants to get on, we ain't on Dak Prescott this week. We'll be on Dak Prescott next week. If he don't throw for 374, if he don't throw for 230 and 2 touchdowns and an interception and we still win by 2 touchdowns, we'll be on Dak Prescott again.
Oh yeah.
But I want to ask you this, Big Show, and I want you to maybe ask your listeners this. When we came in this season, we had expectations for each unit, right? Special teams, defense, and offense.
Yeah.
When we came in this year, we had a question about our field goal kicker. That was a big subject conversation. But that field goal kicker has exceeded, and the special teams unit seemed like they have exceeded all our expectations of what we thought they were going to be up to week 8. Our offense, we had some questions, but if you look at their points per game, right? We talked about the red zone, but if you look at their drives and stuff like that, they may have not exceeded, but they have been moving the ball preferably in every game that we played, but maybe San Fran, right?
Yeah.
But has the defense lived up to the expectations that we thought that they would be? And I want to say no, because we thought that this defense, when we came in the year, that we said this defense was going to be been together for 3 years, and they were going to get better than they were the 2 previous years, and we were going to see that result. Okay. Some people say, well, they got some shutouts, and they did this to the New England, and they did that. But when we got in our 3 losses, our defense gave up almost 30 points, of averaging 30 points given up in those 3 losses.
Mm-hmm.
Did we expect in any stretch of the imagination that we was going a game, even with San Francisco? Man, they scored 32 points. And when people want to talk about interceptions, them interceptions came after they was already 18 points and they moved the ball down the field like one-on.
Mm-hmm.
But anybody thought that we would come in this season and the thing that we said was going to be our strength in the biggest moments and the biggest games, it turned out that we have to be bailed out by the offense.
Yep. I don't know if you can see the screen right now. It is the problem. As expected, it's kind of like a seesaw. The defense was dominant. Injuries, of course, have kind of held us down, but I don't know if you see the screen or not, but the Cowboys are And keep in mind, I got it up. Everybody can see it. Miami and Philadelphia played 9 games, and they are the only 2 teams that's as far as points per game. Cowboys are third in the whole league at 27.5 points a game. They've only played 8 games. So
the
offense is killing. I mean, that ain't what at the beginning of the year I said that the Cowboys would probably have a top 3 defense. And I said if the Cowboys could just be a top 12 offense, you're going to win a whole lot of football games. But it's coming out that the offense is doing exactly what they always have done, a top 5 offense. When you look at it, it's crazy, Coach. I'm looking at it. I don't know if you can see it or not. But if you look at this, and I'm going to click on this real quick, I'm just looking at it. If I told you that the Cowboys are averaging 111 yards on the ground a game, I'm trying to figure out when that happened. Like, we ain't seeing it, but they're averaging it. Now, they only got 893 yards for the year, but again, they've only played 8 games, and that's not they're ranked 3rd in points. But if I were to tell you that the Cowboys are averaging, and since I'm doing it, let me see where we are on it. I'm fit to see it. So we are look like top 12 or 14 in that. We're averaging 111 yards a game. It just don't seem like it, but we are. As far as rushing goes. So, and then here's the funny part, and this really finna mess us up. If we go passing yards a game, the Cowboys are 234.9, which is about top 10 or 12. If you're averaging, coach, and you're a coach, if you're averaging 234 yards in the air and 111 on the ground, it kind of sounds like a balanced offense, don't it?
If you look at our play distribution through the year, we are balanced. Yeah. I think when people getting on Tony Pollard, and listen, he only had 12 carries in the chart in the game before the Rams. And he only had 12 carries against Philly. In those 2 games, he's averaging 4.5 yards a carry.
Yeah, that's what you want from a running back. That's what you want from a running back.
We want him to average 6 yards. We want him to be better than Barry Sanders was in his career, average 6 to 7 yards per carry. That's not going to happen.
No.
It's just an attempt. He's not getting enough attempts. And when we started running the ball against the Rams in the second half, he got most of those yards because I see what McCarthy did. He wanted to attack their secondary, and then he started to run the ball in the second half and mixed it more with run and pass. I understood that. He tried to do that in Philly, but the reason why he tried to do that in Philly is because he trusted his complementary defense that was not going to give up a long touchdown drive in the beginning of the second half and was not going to give another long drive and give up a big play in the second half to get a touchdown when it put him behind the stick, behind the scoreboard, because our defense did not do what they and didn't get the turnovers when the ball was on the ground. It forced us into another game plan, which I have no problem with. But he went into the season saying, if I get in a big game, the defense is not going to be my worry. My offense is constructed because our defense will not just keep us in the game, they're going to hold teams to bay. People think about it. We shut San Francisco down 2 years in a row where they only scored 21, and I think in the playoffs. They turned the dogs off on us. They could have put a 40-burger on us easily this year. And we still talking, but our fans are so focused on the third wide receiver. And I'm not focused on third wide receiver. We focus on if we got Martavis Bryant. Martavis Bryant was picked up just like they pick up any other practice squad player that they pick up. They bring him on the practice squad to see if the guy he's a talent. We'll see how the talent goes. We'll see if he can stay straight for a whole play. He's not going to even touch the field this year. We want to make sure that he can stay straight. He had problems. We're going to put him in a structure, see if he can stay straight, bring him in the training camp next year. He may be a producer for us. If he's not, we'll cut him loose. If he don't, we didn't bring him on the field and say, oh, man, we need him in the red zone. The guy ain't played in 5 years. We brought him in just like any other time we put on our practice squad. Then it's time to the roster, time to the practice squad. If somebody else want to come and poach him tomorrow and put him on there at the roster, we'll say, okay, we'll go find another guy that's been around that may have some talent that we can put out there and bring to our practice squad.
Yeah.
But what we need to be focused on as Cowboy fans is why is the defense, and I got a question. My question about the defense. My question about the defense is we play a lot of players, but it's time to hone in on our players that's playing the best and get some continuity with our defense that we don't sputter. I'm not saying our defense is playing awful, but in the biggest games, we need our defense to perform. If San Francisco go into any big game and their defense give them 30 points, most times they're going to lose because they're resting on the defense to do their job, and then the offense will flow off of them. We go into big games, the defenses gave up 32 and 28 points. And in my book, that's giving up 30 points per game.
Yep. Not good.
So that's where we are faltering at. And I don't think it's a specific player. I just believe that we are not even focusing on that we need to put the focus as fans on to say, hey, our defense needs to play better. Because it will make our offense even more explosive if our defense controls things a little better. And I said this right quick, Big Show. I remember 2 or 3 years ago when we had C.D. Lamb, we had Cooper, we had a Gallup that wasn't hurt. We went into that season and we didn't know nothing about our defense. Our defense was coming in the year. Dan Quinn was trying to put the whole defense together. Right? Then we were trying to put the whole defense together, and we were so mad, but we said, we're going to be explosive offensively. They're going to lead this team. And we said, well, we're going to be able to put up 30 points. But when we went to Kansas City, a big game, who did the job? The defense held Kansas City down. The offense couldn't score. When we went to other big games, the young defense came out and held teams down, but the offense couldn't score. This year, the philosophy was our defense is going to be dominated. When we get the bigger games, our defense give up 28 points on 2 to 4 long drives. Our offense didn't turn the ball over and get no short field. They drove down the field and they made a big play. Yeah. And we said that this defense was going to lead this team. I'm not talking about a typical player. I think Parsons would be better in the middle of the field with enhance our defense. I don't even think we need to talk about the linebacker position because he would be the answer. And I do think in the thing, we need to put the pressure on them and not hide behind blaming Dak Prescott every time we lose, or Tony Pollard every time we lose, or we talk about third wide receiver, or we talk about offensive linemen when our quarterback throws for 374 yards. I ain't never heard of a team in the league when we go for 374 yards, have an all-pro game, throw four touchdowns, and somebody say, man, the offensive lineman, he got it.
Yeah.
And he threw the ball 45 times. And he gave up 5 sacks and 3 of them into a guy that had 19 sacks last year.
Yeah. Well.
So that's what we need to focus on, and we need to focus on that because when we went into this season with expectations, the defense is the one that's not holding up to the expectations in the bigger moment.
Wow. Appreciate you, Coach.
And they
Appreciate you, Coach.
Big Show.
All right. Thank you. Bye-bye. Now, a lot of y'all have asked the question, why, not a lot of y'all, but a few have wondered why Coach Marv is not my co-host. You just saw why. One thing about Coach Marv, He know what he talking about. Everybody that follow him on Boss and when he does the draft, the draft, not draft party, but the game party, whatever you call it. When they do the play-by-play by the game and all that, watch party. I'm sorry. You see that coach needs the coach needs what I need, what I have. Coach Marv is good enough to do what we all do. He just need to get a microphone because coach, if you let coach in your show, he gonna take over. It's just that simple. I can't let coach look. Me and Coach Marv couldn't do a show together. He and one of my best friends, they played football together. That's Marlon Haynes, and Marlon is the same way. I wouldn't get a word in on my show, and Coach Marv is good enough that, to be honest with you, I almost just need to listen to him because his knowledge is just is that he's a former coach, knows the game well. A lot of things that Cowboys do sometimes and stuff that he's kind of put in. He watches film crazy, like he's still coaching. And he knows what he's talking about. That's why I let him go on and on. But Coach Marv would take over your show. I just put these stats up real quick. Let me if y'all, I know y'all can see them. This is, I need y'all to look and see what the Cowboys are. See, first of all, that GP, that first column, that's games played. Cowboys only, most of them played 9. Then you got the guys that are 8 games. All right. Cowboys are 27.5, which is third in the league, if I'm not mistaken. If I was going over to the last column, points per game, the Cowboys, and I'll just do that, you'll see how it changes. Let me do that real quick. Points per game, I'm click that now. And as you can see, the Cowboys are third in the league at 27.5. So scoring is not the problem. I'm shocked to see us that high, to be honest with you. Because I thought the offense would be somewhat of a struggle. Remember, I said the Cowboys' defense was top 3. We're gonna win a lot of football games. Injuries have hurt us, but here we go. Guess what? In yards per game in this defense, and you can see yards per game, which is the third column, they're third. But the real stat is this right here: points per game. That's scoring defense. That means, look, this is what your defense is allowing every game. The Cowboys are under 20 points, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. To me, this is what to me now. They are the 6th rate defense in the league. They're only giving up 18 points a game. If you can hold teams under 20 and you can score over 20, you should win a lot of football games. That's where we are. So the record says we're 5-3. And a couple of those losses were the Frisco game was a blowout, horrible. I don't think we'll give up that many points again, never. So you throw that in. But I'm saying a team like the Giants, who I don't think gonna score a lot of points, if my defense come and play, by the end of next week, we should be a little bit higher than where we are now. So the defense is, they're not as dominant as it was in the prior to the injuries, but they're still holding their own. The stats speak for itself. Let me see this. As bad as we talked about, we can't stop the run. Let's see what we giving up. All right, we're giving up 108 yards a game. That's got to come down, and that's about the middle of the pack too. That's our weakness. 108 yards a game. So I'm not even going to count that while I do it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. We're 15th. That's about the middle of the pack against the run. That's not good. Where we are good at, it should be this, and I ain't even checking out. There it is, as I thought. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're only giving up 179 yards in the air. So we're real good in the air, but we're not great on the ground. If we could tighten up that run defense a little bit better, we're going to go up a bit. And even with that, you see where we are. In points per game, we are 6 in the league. 6 in the league in defense, about top 3 in offense. We should be, when you finish adding all this up, and we can stay in this little area here, we're going to win a lot of football games this year. May not be pretty, may not be in dominant fashion, but we should be looking good. Now, I'm going to say this, and then I'm going to let you go. And the phone line is still open. Those that want to call in real quick. Penalties, we're horrible. I agree with you, Kane. Penalties are killing us. We're not very good playing behind the sticks. Our offense ain't built like that. We just can't. We're not good at 1st and 15, 2nd and 12, 2nd and 13, 2nd and 15. We're not good. We're not built like that. And that's hurting us a lot. Pre-snap penalties and stuff like that. And I know we got to be at the bottom of the line, when it comes to that. We got to be one of the most penalized teams in the league. So that's an issue. And that's going to hurt us. And it always does hurt us. We're just not built like that. I'm going to say this. We got the Giants this week. We should win. We got Carolina next week. We should win. I'm already putting it out there, one game at a time. And, let them preach that message over in the locker room. I know we don't supposed to look ahead and we all supposed to be on one page, but it's just some things that are just ought to be natural. We need to stack the wins. Let me tell you, with the added game, the way that it used to be, 10 wins usually would get you in. I'm really not sure if 10 wins will get you in the playoffs, that is. I think that the automatic number now is 11 wins because of the extra game. Coach Marv is absolutely right. And again, that's that age-old argument. The age-old argument. How do we play in big games? Well, Coach Marv just showed you right there. You're not going to win a lot of games if that's what you're doing. So, in other words, when you're playing the big teams, that's still the same argument. What do we do? That's not going to be good. That stuff has to tighten up. But as for right now, because of the standings, because of where Philadelphia is ahead of us, we can't afford no slip-ups. None. Teams that we are supposed to beat, we have to beat them. These next 2 weeks, these are teams that we are supposed to beat. And like I said before, I done seen it too many years. Everybody want to play their Super Bowl against us. It's just like right now, Carolina's up 10-9 against the Bears. They struggling. Bryce Young getting hit all over the place. Every time I look at it, he falling down, all this stuff. When he play against us, though, unless we do what we supposed to do, the Carolina Panthers next week, they're going to have a packed house in Carolina. It's going to be crazy. Cowboy fans will be there too, but it's going to be like a Super Bowl atmosphere for Carolina. Watch them play like they never played before. I ain't saying they're going to beat us. I'm just saying I just know how it goes. These are games we got to win, all right? These next 2. Then here come the real meat of the schedule after that. And then we're going to see where we are. Road games at Buffalo. Road game, Jesus, I forgot. Buffalo, I don't even want to look at the schedule. I don't even want to do that. I just know we got home games, Thanksgiving, all that kind of stuff. Buffalo, we got to go to Miami. See, these are the games that sooner or later, we got to win one of these things. We got to win one. I mean, seriously. It's really, to me, the race to 11. That'll guarantee me a spot in the playoffs. I ain't just sure about 10 yet. But give me 11. And so we need to win number 6 and get 5 more. That's the way I look at it. All right. All right, my time is up. Hey, Dr. Ninjas, I got you say Giants will lose. Yeah, they supposed to. You say the Panthers have no chance to beat the Cowboys by the way they're playing right now. We thought the Arizona Cardinals didn't have a chance either. It's by far the worst NFL game I ever seen. Chicago better wake up. Hey, I ain't think Arizona had a shot either. So we saw what happened there, didn't we? Yeah. Yeah. See, this right here is why we got to stack the wins. So it ain't my fault for all y'all Cowboy haters and we ain't play nobody. The schedule was made a long time ago. We didn't know what the team was going to be like. I could care less. Beat them. By the time 2 weeks from now, we need to be 7-3. We need to beat the Giants and the Panthers. That's 7-3. The Commanders is always a tough game, division game. We should beat them. That's 8-3. Seattle and the Eagles going to be a different game. Eagles at us, or both games are at home. Those are going to be some real crucial games there when we get to that. If you just want to go project, I ain't making predictions, but I'm saying we supposed to win some of these games here. That's all I'm going to say. All right. I'll see you guys possibly Saturday afternoon. Turn on the notifications. We're going to hang again. Before we leave, do this for me. If you like the show, y'all know what I'm about to ask. If you like the show, you got about another 4 minutes to go. Hit that like button for me. One more time, y'all. I appreciate y'all hanging out with me. But hit that like button. Hit that like button for you, boy. If you liked it. You're expecting the Cowboys to win the next 4 games, Greg says. Okay, well, hey, Cowboys are capable. And I think they're gonna be highly motivated because it's crunch time. If you're gonna keep pace with the Eagles, if you really talking about winning the division, y'all hit that like button for me now. If you're on YouTube, hit that like button, that heart button. If you really talking about keeping over Philly, you got to win. You have to win. They only lost 1 game. We've lost 3. We can't afford no slip-ups. None. So I don't care who we playing. Just win. I want to win in a fashion though that says, okay, I don't want to be just scraping by and heartbreak and hard roller coaster ride. Some of these 2 games here we supposed to win in grand fashion. So if it's 40-0 again or 40-10 or so be it. Just win. I want it done. It's a way to win, then it's a way you look when you got to win. I want bully ball. If a team don't belong, treat them like they don't belong. And the Giants do not belong. They don't. That's what I want to see. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm done. Appreciate y'all hanging out with me. Y'all enjoy the rest of this game. The second half just kicked off. Well, I'm streaming. Yours probably just a couple seconds ahead of me. But do some scouting on Carolina. We're playing them right after this. Let's look at Bryce Young. Let's see if we can start seeing some things. All right. I'll see you guys Saturday. Appreciate y'all hanging with me. We're out of here. This has been the one and the only, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Big Time Show.